This week, why Craig Campbell and some of his closest country friends are performing at the RYMAN Auditorium. Then a musician who doesn't need to rent a tour bus, BLANKENSHIP, explains how he's balancing a successful business and a music career.
Plus, we're introducing you to Clayton Mullen, who is gonna maybe make you blue, but in a good way. We'll explain what that means coming up.
And later, an emotional inside the song, why Steve Dean says a track he wrote for REBA makes him cry. Hi everybody, and welcome to another episode of Nashville Insider. I'm Casey Mason, and we're so happy that you joined us here for today's episode. So as usual, you know the drill. We've got some great country content lined up for you today, starting with a trip to the most legendary venue in Nashville. Of course, I'm talking about the RYMAN Auditorium. That's where Craig Campbell and his friends performed for a very important reason. Jennifer Vickery has more.
Hey, thanks, Casey. We are backstage at the RYMAN Auditorium, where tonight the Kenny Campbell Foundation is going to be honored with an incredible concert. Kenny Campbell was Craig Campbell, the country music artist's dad, and he died at the age of 36 of colorectal cancer. So tonight is a big benefit to raise awareness. Nobody's excluded from this disease, for sure, and I know it had to have impacted you in such a major way as a young child to lose your dad.
Yeah, I was 11 when it happened, and at the time I didn't realize I didn't think of my dad as being young, but the older I got and the closer I got to raising or starting a family, and then I started getting close to the age he passed away. I'm like, wait a minute, he was really young.
Yeah.
So I started just trying to figure out what took him from me, and whatever that was, I said, I'm going to try my best to make sure that's not what takes me out, you know.
Right. I love that Craig tapped you to be one of the artists to play tonight.
Yeah, I was so stoked when he asked me, but I've done his cornhole competition.
Oh, wait,
for
you
CMA.
haven't only done it. I think you won it. Am I right?
We did win it this last year. Yeah, we did.
See, I am your hype girl.
Yeah, it was a couple years in the making. I think we got like second, like the last 2 years, or second and third or something like that. And I was like, I'm going to win this one year.
Yeah.
And we took it home this year, CMA Fest. And I actually just overall, this CMA Fest was the best year of my entire life. And but yeah, just to have Craig constantly helping us out always, and just being such a good mentor and such a good friend to me, being so new to the city, it's awesome.
Hey, Michael, Ray is here, one of the artists taking part in tonight's event, and I know that you're buddies with Craig, and I'm sure that was probably pretty an easy yes for you tonight.
Yeah, for sure. I've known Craig. I used to open for Craig when I was the guy in Florida that was opening for all the big artists coming down. And so we've been friends for a long time, and I've participated in the cornhole tournament during CMA Fest, and Craig's one of the most talented, great dudes, and so when he hit me up, I was like, yeah, of course, man. I'm in.
Okay, you're going to be stepping onto the RYMAN stage tonight. You've been playing a lot of stages recently, but tell me about how special just to get to do that right here in Nashville.
It's honestly such an honor, this is like the church, Music City Church of Nashville, like so many legends have been on the stage.
I'm so glad that you're taking part in such a worthwhile event.
Oh, same here. I'm just absolutely honored to help support the Kenny Campbell Foundation and with all these incredible artists.
Tell us about the latest single real quick.
So the new song "Missing You" is a hit. I'm just so excited about it, and
I think I remember talking to you about this song before. It's actually an old song. It has been around a while.
It has. So when I was with Broken Bow, we put out an EP back in 2018. And even before that, so 2015, I cut the song the first time, and then it was on the EP, and it started streaming like crazy. But by then, me and the label, we kind of started, thinking about we should go our separate ways. Yeah. And last year I saw what Drew Baldridge did, and taking a song to radio and going to #1 all independent.
All by himself. Yeah.
And I said, man, I'm going to do that. And so I thought about it. I said, if I'm going to do this, I gotta have a heavy hammer of a song. Yeah. And "Missing You" was hands down the song.
Am I right? Am I remembering correctly that Dave Barnes wrote that?
Dave Barnes, Barry Dean, and Jonathan Singleton.
Well, that's a lot of talent right there.
I mean, you get those three together, they bound to write something good,
It's just me missing you.
A great event for an even greater cause. Thanks so much, Jennifer. Well, coming up next, we are introducing you to Clayton Mullen, an artist who was born on the West Coast and raised on country music. Nashville Insider's Adam Wartzel has more.
Clayton Mullen, welcome to Nashville Insider. Great to have you here.
Thank you, Adam. Yeah, I'm pumped to be here. Thanks for having me.
I want to talk about your story a little bit before we talk about your music. born on the West Coast, lived on the East Coast. You're currently moving. You have a lot going on. Tell us about what's happening in Clayton Mullen's life and your upbringing that inspired you to pursue this career in country music.
Absolutely, yeah. Like you said, right now I'm currently moving, but I'm not. I'm used to moving, I would say. I've moved around a whole bunch as a kid, but yeah, I was born in California, raised in Pennsylvania and Massachusetts, and then I found music a little bit later in life for me in Texas when I was going to school at TCU. The music scene in Texas was so cool, and it was just something that I gravitated to a lot while I was in school there.
You've got a great song on this EP, and it's called Blue. And it was one of those songs when I first heard it that took me by surprise, because when I hear a song called Blue, I think, oh, it's going to be a ballad. It's going to be this, like, sad, very slow breakup song. And it is not a slow song. It is an up-tempo song. Tell us about this song and how it came about.
Yeah, it definitely is an up-tempo song. I think over the past year of writing, I've been wanting to put more energy into my songs because I saw how that translated in the live set. So currently that song's our show opener, and we come out and punch people in the face with it, which I think is fun. But yeah, that song came about with Jason Massey, who produced this album. I wrote it with him and a guy named Kyle Sturrock, one of my buddies in town. But it was just this title that was sitting in my phone. I love good, simple titles, but you got to figure out a cool way to do them to make them stand out. And I think we did a cool job of spinning it on like how after a breakup, you should be mad, but all you're seeing is those memories, and they're just a shade of blue. You see her driving away, tears in her eyes, all that stuff. So I think the fun part of it is turning what could be a ballad into a more rockin' song.
Let's talk about songwriting for you. How important is it to you to put pen to paper and not to take songs just from somebody else?
Yeah, it's definitely important for me to have a voice, and whatever songs I'm putting out, they mean something to me, and if I didn't write them, that there's something that I feel I could have written. But I'm writing songs pretty much every day, and there's so many other guys that are writing songs every day. And I think one of the best ways to support this community is cutting songs that other people wrote, because there are a lot of guys who are strictly songwriters. So any chance or any time a song comes across my phone that I feel like when I listen to it, I could have written it, I love to record stuff like that and give songs a chance.
Clayton, I think it's a good idea that we, of course, mention the name of this project. It's called Varsity Blues. That's the title of the EP. Did you play varsity sports?
Yes, I did. High school sports were a big part of my upbringing, but yeah, I played varsity sports. Football I actually didn't play in high school, but I played it all growing up and up until high school. But basketball was my main sport.
Last question. What do you want country fans to know about Clayton Mullen?
I want you guys to know that our live show we've been working on for the past couple of years, and if you ever get a chance to come see it, I'd urge you guys to do so, and I'd love to meet any and everyone who wants to come out.
Brand new EP is out now. It's called Varsity Blues. Clayton, it's been a pleasure getting to talk to you. Thanks so much for joining us here on Nashville Insider.
You too, Adam. Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much, Adam. Ahead on Nashville Insider, it's an emotional inside the song. We sit down with Steve Dean as he explains why his Reba McEntire hit Walk On gets him emotional.
Hey everybody, it's Jennifer Vickery. I cannot wait to introduce you to Amanda Jenkins. She's going to be talking about a Bible study that accompanies the Chosen series. If you're a fan, stick around.
Coming up after the break, this empire of road warriors helped a man live out his musical dream. That story coming up.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Nashville Insider. I'm Casey Mason. Well, it's time for another Insider Spotlight. So this is where we highlight individuals who have made a unique mark on the country music industry. And today we're chatting with Eric Blankenship, a man who has an empire of tour buses and a music career as well. Here's Jeff Womack.
We are on the bus with Eric Blankenship. You got a whole lot of buses here, and we're going to find out how that happened. But you've had about 3, maybe 4 lives, near as I can tell, in music.
I have.
If you're lucky enough to come to his office where these coaches reside, it's like a mini country music hall of fame in there.
It is. There's memorabilia everywhere. As my office has really got a lot of it in there, and some of my staff says, why are you going to get rid of some of that junk in there? I said, that ain't junk, folks. That's memorabilia.
At what point did you want to go the route of driving? Because you're still a bus driver.
I never wanted to.
Really?
No, I never intended to do that at all.
Okay.
when I came to town, I got a job with Ricky Skaggs selling T-shirts, and I got my license just to help drive because I just loved buses. I wanted a bus of my own to travel on, when I made it big, and so I tried for 5, 6, 7 years trying to get a record deal, and just the timing just never worked. I digress. I got my license to help drive, and as you need to feed the family, this driving gig paid more than the other gigs, so I started driving full time and drove for several different artists. I drove for Jody Messina and Leanne Womack, and did some stuff with Diamond Rio and just a bunch of different people along the way. And I just got tired one day and said, I'm not doing this anymore. So I decided to quit.
You started out with just a credit card, and then a week later you were like, this really isn't for me. Tell me that story.
Yeah. We had $5,000 cash and a $10,000 credit card limit is what the deal. And that afternoon we were broke because we bought equipment and stuff, leased a building, and we had 8 buses that we did not own that somebody else owned. They gave them to us to run. So we got 10% of the lease and the maintenance, and that's how we started. And we're 52 now, and we own them all. So
you've already got 52 of these things. You've designed them, you've driven them, you made it, okay? But you still wanted to follow through with your dream of music, and so you did that.
Yeah.
Tell me about going from Music Valley into Hendersonville, where you still hold court, by the way.
Yeah. I play
to the Grand Ole Opry.
I play every Tuesday night at the local in Hendersonville, 8 to 11, with my band, the Designated Drinkers. And then April the 29th, I got to debut on the Grand Ole Opry thanks to the Isaacs. And went out there and sang just one song, got a standing ovation, and walked off the stage. And I've got a bunch of my friends, family, peers back there, but I'll not forget, I looked at the corner of my eye and I seen T. Graham Brown standing at the side of the stage. And when I came off stage, he grabbed me by the shoulders and he said, "Son, look out there." He said, "That's rare. That don't happen very often." And I said, "Well, I don't know." He said, "I know. I was out there 15 minutes. They didn't stand up for me." So there was a bunch of people there that were there to support that had been, a part of this since the early 90s. I don't know that there's anything that could top that. I mean, it was pretty daggum incredible.
Where can folks get your music, Eric?
Well, I've got a CD that I did about 8 or 9 years ago, and it's available on iTunes, any streaming service. CD Baby you can get,
and it's Rolling with the Flow.
Rolling with the Flow is the name of the record. Sure is.
Well, since he does have a full-time job, we'll let him get back to it. Eric, pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us on your bus.
Anytime.
Of all the 52,
anytime.
We got the best one.
Hey, I'll give you a laminate when you leave that way.
Oh, okay, okay, please do.
You can get on any time.
Will you sign it?
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks so much, Jeff. Well, coming up, if you like The Chosen, then you're going to want to stick around here. We'll give you the scoop on their special Bible study that accompanies the series. And right after this, it's our most emotional Inside the Song ever. The track that Steve Dean says saved someone's life. That's next on Nashville Insider. Hey everybody, welcome back to Nashville Insider. It's time for Inside the Song, and these typically come with a lot of inside information, but not always necessarily emotions, until we sat down with Steve Dean, who explains how his Reba McEntire track Walk On came to be, and then some.
We were, Lonnie Williams was my co-writer that day, and he was the brother of Kim Williams. Anyway, so Lonnie and I were looking for something to write, and I had this little kind of an R&B groove started, and Lonnie was really country. He was really country. So we went down and talked to the publisher, and I said, "Tom, we need an idea for a song," and he said, "All right." And he thought about it for a minute. He called me back and he goes, "Why don't you write a song called Walk On?" And I thought, Walk On, okay. So we started working on Walk On, and it just hit me out of the blue. Ain't life wonderful when everything is right? Now you have to remember that the groove that you hear on the record was not exactly the same groove I had. I was doing more of a slower R&B thing. So same chords and everything, just a little different groove. And Rich Alves, who was our song plugger at the time over at Collins Music, he said, we'll do that little upstroke thing, and he was a great guitar player too. And so when we went to get the demo done, they do that upstroke kind of thing, and I think that's what really sold him on, because it put some tempo to it, Tom loved to have tempo songs, because for us to write tempo songs, so they get on drive time radio. He was a smart publisher. I thought it sounded like a hit, and the publisher was very excited about it. Mary Dawson, God rest her soul, she was working in the mailroom. Mary would get the letters that came in to REBA about this song, and a lot of them were, I thought this was the dumbest song I ever heard until my heart got broke, and then I realized, and just stuff like that. But this one in particular was just amazing. She said, "Dear REBA, I was in a terrible car wreck, and I was paralyzed from the waist down, and the doctors told me I would never walk again. But your song, Walk On, is inspiring me to walk again." Now, years later, 10 years later to be exact, I don't know if you remember the Parade magazine that would come in newspapers on Sunday. Well, they used to have a column in there, your favorite songs, or what they meant to you. And they'd have 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and 30 years ago. I started getting calls from people all over the country on that Sunday morning, and they were saying, "Steve, there's something about your song Walk On in this paper." So my dad had it, and I asked him to read it to me. And what it was, it's hard to even tell you this without just really getting emotional about it, because it was that girl. Yeah. And she wrote in and said, this is the song that changed my life. And I was paralyzed from the waist down. The doctor said I'd never walk again, and now I'm walking again. And I'm thinking, thank you, God, because this is why we do this. I mean, this was just a song that started out as an idea called Walk On, but we turned it into something that was, ain't life wonderful when everything is right, but sometimes wonderful falls apart sometimes, So when your troubles knock you down, get yourself up off the ground and walk on.
Coming up next on the Nashville Insider, we are with Amanda Jenkins from the Chosen Bible Study Series. If you haven't heard about it, you're going to want to know about it. Stick around.
All right, we're back here on Nashville Insider. I'm Casey Mason. As always, thanks for staying with us. Well, The Chosen went from a completely crowd-funded pilot to a 5-season mega hit that just wrapped filming their season 6. Our Jennifer Vickery recently got to meet Amanda Jenkins to find out what's accompanying the faith-based series. Take a look.
Well, perhaps you are one of the millions of people who have been impacted by one of the most popular television series to come out in recent times, The Chosen. We are so fortunate today to get to talk to Amanda Jenkins, the beautiful wife of Dallas, who gets a whole lot of credit for all the creativity behind the show.
But very gracious.
Yes, and it's deserved credit, though. I mean, wow, it's just unbelievable. I was thinking on the way over here to get to talk to you what it must have been like, those early conversations of, not having a clue how big this would grow and how it would impact people. I want to hear a little bit about that.
I mean, it was healthy to not have a clue, right? Because you're not planning for it. We were trying to fund every episode as we went. We were trying to figure out how do we best tell just this little piece that we're on. I think it would have been really overwhelming to know how big and how wide it was going to go. So I think God gives us this much information on purpose, because it's all we can handle at the time. So no, I think even now we hear about something in some other part of the world, and honestly, we both, our jaws drop. We can't believe it, even though it's our company, know, and it's still so shocking. So no clue at what was coming.
And you are the creator of one of the companion pieces to the Chosen series, which is this incredible Bible study series, and the 5th edition, which accompanies the 5th season of the show, is just recently been released. So tell me a little about your heart behind kind of allowing people to go in depth more who are being impacted by this television series.
Yeah, we found that between the first and second season, there was people were kind of clamoring for more chosen stuff, and we thought that was a good moment to kind of push them toward scripture. Like I love our show, but it's just it's a show, you know, and it's introducing people to Jesus, but it's not the Bible, right? And so like our passion is if we could introduce people to Jesus and then kind of shepherd them towards the actual Bible, that's going to last longer than the show. And so that became our heart. I was a Bible study teacher. I was a writer before, so it was just an easy fit. And so we started doing these Bible studies that accompany every season, and it's allowed me to track with the chosen myself, because I have to do it first, right? I have a writing partner, and we have to go through it first, and we have to kind of be taken to the mat on these things first. But it's more in depth as we explore the themes of the show.
There are 5, 1 for each season. Yep. And if you haven't begun the show yet, then it might be neat to kind of have this and watch along and do the study, right? Yeah. About 8 sessions or so in each book.
Yeah, we go 8 episodes per season. We do 8 lessons per book. We have script excerpts leading you into each week and leading you out of each week, and there's bite-sized little sections, and then you can go longer, and it's really kind of tailor-made to be what you want it to be or how much time you want it to take.
Really awesome. Well, congratulations to you and to Dallas and the entire company really on what you've created here. And I have a feeling as far as faith-based entertainment goes, you guys are really just getting started.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thanks.
great
It's
to
an
see
honor.
you. Thank you.
What have you done? Sooner or later, gotta cut you down.
All right, switching gears now to some prayers that we're asking all of our viewers for here. As you may have heard, legendary Oak Ridge Boys bassist Richard Sturban has been diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. Well, the legend says, quote, "I am under the care of the best cancer doctors in the country, and with the help of the good Lord above, I believe I will be able to get through this." Well, of course, our thoughts and prayers go out to Richard Sturban and his wife and his family and all of the Oak Ridge Boys. So we want to leave you today with one of the Oaks' biggest hits, but a new star-studded version of that song, which actually came out last year. Here's Elvira. We'll see you guys next time on Nashville Insider.
Elvira, Elvira, my heart's on fire for Elvira. Giddy up.